Dollar cost averaging DCA, explained with examples and considerations. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribes to my channel. What is dollar cost averaging? Investing can be challenging. Even experienced investors who try to time the market to buy at the most opportune moments can come up short. Dollar cost averaging is a strategy that can make it easier to deal with uncertain markets by making purchases automatic. It also supports an investor's effort to invest regularly. Dollar cost averaging involves investing the same amount of money in a target security at regular intervals over a certain period of time, regardless of price. By using dollar cost averaging, investors may lower their average cost per share and reduce the impact of volatility on their portfolios. In effect, this strategy eliminates the effort required to attempt to time the market to buy at the best prices. How dollar cost averaging works. Dollar cost averaging is a simple tool that an investor can use to build savings and wealth over the long term. It is also a way for an investor to ignore short-term volatility in the broader markets. A prime example of long-term dollar cost averaging is its use in 401 plans, in which employees invest regularly regardless of the price of the investment. With a 401 plan, employees can choose the amount they wish to contribute, as well as those investments offered by the plan in which to invest. Then, investments are made automatically every pay period. Depending on the markets, employees might see a larger or smaller number of securities added to their accounts. Dollar cost averaging can also be used outside of 401 plans. For instance, investors can use it to make regular purchases of mutual or index funds, whether in another tax-advantaged account such as a traditional IRA or a taxable brokerage account. Who should use dollar cost averaging? The investment strategy of dollar cost averaging can be used by any investor who wants to take advantage of its benefits, which include a potentially lower average cost, automatic investing over regular intervals of time, and a method that relieves them of the stress of having to make purchase decisions under pressure when the market is volatile. Dollar cost averaging may be especially useful to beginning investors who don't yet have the experience or expertise to judge the most opportune moments to buy. It can also be a reliable strategy for long-term investors who are committed to investing regularly but don't have the time or inclination to watch the market and time their orders. However, dollar cost averaging isn't for everyone. It isn't necessarily appropriate for those investing time periods when prices are trending steadily in one direction or the other. Be sure to consider your outlook for an investment, plus the broader market, when making the decision to use dollar cost averaging. Special considerations. It's important to note that dollar cost averaging works well as a method of buying an investment over a specific period of time where the price fluctuates up and down. If the price rises continuously, those using dollar cost averaging end up buying fewer shares. If it declines continuously, they may continue buying when they should be on the sidelines. So the strategy cannot protect investors against the risk of declining market prices. Like the outlook of many long-term investors, the strategy assumes that prices, though they may drop at times, will ultimately rise. Using this strategy to buy an individual stock without researching a company's details could prove detrimental as well. That's because an investor might continue to buy more stock when they otherwise would stop buying or exit the position. Example of dollar cost averaging. Joe works at ABC Corp and has a 401 plan. He receives a paycheck of $1,000 every 2 weeks. Decides to allocate 10% or $100 of his pay to his employer's plan every pay period. He chooses to contribute 50% of his allocation to a large cap mutual fund and 50% to an S&P 500 index fund. Every 2 weeks, 10% or $100 of Joe's pre-tax pay will buy $50 worth of each of these two funds, regardless of the fund's price. The table below shows the half of Joe's $100 contributions that went to the S&P 500 index fund over 10 pay periods. Throughout 10 paychecks, Joe invested a total of $500, or $50 per week. The price of the fund increased and decreased over that time. Is dollar cost averaging a good idea? It can be. When dollar cost averaging, you invest the same amount at regular intervals, and by doing so, hopefully lower your average purchase price. You will already be in the market when prices drop and when they rise. For instance, you'll have exposure to dips when they happen and don't have to try to time them. By investing a fixed amount regularly, you will end up buying more shares when the price is lower than when it is higher. Why do some investors use dollar cost averaging? The key advantage of dollar cost averaging is that it reduces the negative effects of investor psychology and market timing on a portfolio. By committing to a dollar cost averaging approach, investors avoid the risk that they will make counterproductive decisions out of greed or fear, such as buying more when prices are rising or panic selling when prices decline. Instead, dollar cost averaging forces investors to focus on contributing a set amount of money each period while ignoring the price of the target security. How often should you invest with dollar cost averaging? With regard to actually using the strategy, how often you use it may depend on your investment horizon, outlook on the market, and experience with investing. If your outlook is for a market in flux that will eventually rise, then you might try it. If a persistent bear market's at work, then it wouldn't be a smart strategy to use. If you're planning to use it for long-term investing and wonder what interval for buying makes sense, consider applying some of every paycheck to the regular purchases. Keep your knowledge base and skills competitive with courses taught by industry experts in finance. Access recognized industry experts through dynamic courses offered by the world's leading universities in partnership with Emeritus. Explore upcoming courses and join 250,000 plus professionals taking their next step and developing future-ready skills. What do you think of my video? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching my video.